Welcome, Middlers, to the Medium in the Middle podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I take you on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual exploration. I am a Reiki master teacher, a spiritual and business mentor, and of course, a psychic medium. And I am here to share my story and help you tap into your extraordinary abilities. Join me every Wednesday as we dive into the realms of intuition, energy healing, and all things mystical. Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just dipping your toes into the magical waters, this podcast is your go-to source for inspiration, guidance, and a whole lot of lessons and laughter along the way. Let's get started. Hello, Middlers! Happy 2024! We're back with a brand new episode, celebrating episode 200 of the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm back this year with a new podcast intro. Very excited to have that off of my to-do list. But new year, we're having a fresh start. That intro needed to be redone for the last 6 months. So I'm very happy to have that finished. But welcome back. How are you? We took a few weeks break over Christmas and New Year's, and I'm feeling ready to go and hit the ground running. I have so much content for you guys this year. I can't wait to share it all with you, but I hope you had a relaxing holiday season. I hope you're feeling refreshed. It's about to get really cold in Banff, minus 35, so I'm about to hunker down and stay indoors for a while. But I had a very, very relaxing holiday season. I don't remember this from last year, but it's something really special that no one else was working. So no one was sending emails, no one was needing anything urgently, there was no deadlines or due dates. And I just felt like I could actually relax. And then I always take the first week of January off, and I do it as an admin week. I do all my end of year-over-year comparisons. I finish my goals. I plan out my year as far in advance as I can. I work on my to-do list. I plan launches. I just do all the admin stuff, all my life stuff. I just get stuff done so that when I go back to work, I can just work. I feel so good. I feel so prepared. I feel so excited for all the things that are coming in 2024. It just feels really nice. So if you're not feeling that way, don't worry. You still have lots of time to sort out your goals and finish everything. It does not have to be done at the start of January. I like to kind of work on my goals all of January as I get inspired, as I, have time. When it's minus 35 and I'm sitting inside, that's a good time to look at my goals. And something I want to start this year that I saw on TikTok, thank you TikTok, is a joy jar. In my goals workshop that I hosted in December, we do a year in review where we go back and we look at your year and you see what you did. And, it's really nice to reflect on everything that you do. But another really good idea is to start a jar at the beginning of the year. And whenever something good happens in your life or bad or anything that you just want to put in the jar, you put it in a sticky note and you add it to the jar. And then on New Year's Eve, you open the jar and you read all the sticky notes. So I'm going to do that for 2024, and I still like to do the year in review, but what a fun idea for New Year's, you crack your bottle of wine and you read all your amazing sticky notes. So depending on when you're listening to this podcast, you can start your 2024 joy jar. So it was really interesting how this podcast came to be because it has been on my to-do list to record the podcast all week long. And I wrote it in my agenda to do it on Tuesday, and then that didn't happen. So then I wrote it in to do it on Thursday, and then that didn't happen. And then I wrote it in to do it on Saturday. And Saturday I set everything up. I pulled the cards on Instagram, but then I got busy doing other things. And then Sunday morning I started recording and I was re-recording the intro. And then something happened. And I was like, oh, this is why I didn't record the podcast on Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday or this morning, was because there's a little change of plans. Spirit had a story that had to be episode 200, and this just feels so divinely timed. It's just a really incredible Spirit story that I'm very excited to share with you all today. So if you are following along on Instagram, you would have already got some of this story. I kind of did a few reels about it when it was happening. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, at Medium in the Middle is my only account. There's a lot of scammers, so beware. I will never ask you for money. I'll never ask you for a reading. I'll never have you send me money. I have a website, themediuminthemiddle.com. That's the only place you can send me money. And just beware of the scammers. Not only for me, but for the entire spiritual community. Mediums are an easy target, so I will leave the link down below to my Instagram. It is Medium in the Middle, spelled that way. No extra L's, E's, M's, just Medium in the Middle. But I will be pulling the weekly card pull every week on Instagram. So you can go and see the cards if you want to. I will also be posting them every week. But we have a lot of new content coming out this year. I'm really, really, really excited. I'm going to probably say that a lot. So we'll do a few announcements and then we'll pull a card. So we have a lot going on here at Medium in the Middle HQ. So many things are coming for 2024. I've been planning, I've been brewing, I've been really excited to launch a lot of these things. So let's start with the basics. Reiki trainings. So Reiki level 1, your next opportunity is February 24th and 25th. Reiki level 2, if you have been waiting, February 10th and 11th is your next chance for Reiki level 2. And if you are one of my master students looking for Reiki masters this year, please send me an email. I am booking into July and August. I know that seems far away, but I plan my year far in advance so I know what I'm doing when. So if you are looking to do your Reiki masters, July, August, September, October, you want to reach out to me now so we can set that up for you. Going along with today's theme of a mediumship story, I heard you. I heard the signs, the symbols, the comments, the DMs, the requests. Your mediumship practice circle prayers have been answered. The Medium in the Middle is bringing you a monthly mediumship practice circle. Woo, woo, woo. So I just kept hearing that you guys need people to practice on. You're new mediums. You don't know who to practice with. You don't know where to practice. You don't know what to do. So I'm stepping up to the plate. We're doing it. I used to run a monthly meeting in the middle, and we're bringing it back in 2024. So I have you set up for January, February, and March. January 21st, February 17th, and March 17th, I'm hosting a 75-minute circle. All levels are welcome. No mediumship experience is required. It could be your first time. It could be your 10th time. It could be your 100th time. But if you want practice with strangers, this mediumship circle is for you. They are selling very, very, very quickly, and there are limited spots. So if you want one, you can sign up for January. You can sign up for January and February, or you can sign up for all three, whatever you prefer. But I will leave the link down below. I highly recommend jumping on those spots because they will not last long. At the time I am recording this, they are over half sold out. So if you are looking for mediumship practice, a monthly mediumship circle is here in 2024. Okay, so let's pull the cards for this week. I pulled from the Kyle Gray Angel Guide Oracle. You guys voted on Instagram for this, and 3 cards fell out. So I'll tell you the 3 cards, and I think I'm only going to read the first 2 cards because the third one was a little bonus. The first card is Spiritual Growth. This is a powerful time for you. Your growth and understanding are unfolding at an incredible rate, and you feel more connected than ever to your soul, gifts, and purpose. Your angels are encouraging you to keep up the good work and continue expanding your knowledge, experience, and spiritual connection. When this card arrives for you, it's a confirmation that the experiences and insights you have had have been divinely led. You may feel yourself connecting to a particular energy at this time, or even experiencing angels or guides visiting you. This card is letting you know that these experiences are real and are occurring because of your determination to open up spiritually. The path of light is unfolding for you, and you are being encouraged to hold your head high and focus on spiritual growth. The rest will be taken care of for you. Ooh, I like this card. Also, I feel like with everything going on, I really resonate with this card as well. So the first card was spiritual growth. The second card for our first card pull of 2024 is strength and guidance. Every time I pull this card, I always think of the Drake song, Strength and Guidance. Don't underestimate the power of your soul. You are a strong and resilient soul with the capacity to rise above any challenge. Divine intervention is taking place at this time. Whatever is occurring in your life is providing a real learning curve for your soul. You are becoming more and more aware of what will lead you to fulfill your purpose and what will divert you from joy. Your angel guide is encouraging you to recognize that the feelings that are coming up to you now are guidance that will help you understand the steps you need to take and the moves you need to make in order to be aligned with abundance and support. Holy, I'm really resonated this week with these cards. It's funny, I pulled these cards yesterday. So when you hear the story today, this will really make sense. But the cards always land for the episode or whatever I'm talking about, so I shouldn't be surprised. Okay, the last card, vulnerability and freedom. I am going to read it. I said I wasn't. Angels are with you now to boost your confidence because they can see how harsh some of the experiences you have endured have been. They want you to know that vulnerability gives you the chance to find a strength that will bring you freedom. To move into that freedom, your angel guide is encouraging you to take some time and connect with the parts of yourself you love and admire. You are emotionally connected soul, and although recent waves in emotion may have overwhelmed you, these emotions are great reminders of how much you care about living truthfully and in a positive way. So take some time now to value the traits and quirks that make you the unique person that you are. That will allow the world to value them too. Okay, so that's our card pull for episode 200, the first episode of 2024, spiritual growth, strength and guidance, and vulnerability and freedom. I like it. I'd like to see it. And then one more announcement before we jump into the podcast episode. Yesterday, I launched the Middler Mastermind 2024. This is a mastermind to grow your spiritual business. So if you have a spiritual business right now, if you have a side hustle, if you are looking to grow and expand, as long as you are making money and you are taking clients weekly, I want everyone kind of in the same boat. You can sign up for this mastermind. We meet once a month and we have monthly meetings. I will leave all the info that you need down below. But if you are a spiritual business owner looking to grow your business in 2024, come join me in the Middler Mastermind. So we're going to start our story today from the very beginning, as we always do. But this is a spirit story, and I'm hoping that this episode helps you figure out how to piece together the messages. I am always talking about your manual. I'm always talking about writing things down. I'm always talking about paying attention. And I hope seeing these things come together through this spirit story helps you start to figure out how to put the pieces of the puzzle together in your own life. So this is a little lesson for developing mediums, but also a really good mediumship story. I'm going to start at the very beginning. Today is Sunday as I record this. And I'm on admin week, so I just had a lot of admin to do today, was on my to-do list. And I had a meeting this afternoon with a Reiki student who wanted to talk about her Reiki Masters in 2024. I went to yoga last night, and before I went to yoga, I received an email from this student who was confirming to me the time for today. And she said, "Hey, Steph, I live in Florida, so if you want to come to Florida to do the training, let me know. That would be an option. I have room for you." So I went to yoga last night, and as I was walking to yoga and walking home from yoga, I was just kind of thinking, should I go to Florida? Can I make this work? How would I make this work? And then I thought of a spirit that I've spoken to before, and I thought, I think this is the student that her daughter passed away. And it was just a fleeting thought. It came in and out so quickly. And I still remember I was at my door, unlocking my door, and just for like a flash of a moment, I was like, I feel like this is the student whose daughter passed away, Florida, walked inside my house, didn't think anything of it. Today, I was making breakfast, and you guys know my house isn't that big, but I was in the kitchen, and I was making breakfast, cutting things, cooking an egg, doing whatever you do, and I hear something fall in my house, and it sounded like something fell and hit something on the way down. So it kind of sounded like thud, thud. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, what would make a sound that something would fall twice? So I walk out into the living room and my dog didn't react. So I was like, okay, there's nothing in the living room. I look around and I was like, well, it sounded closer than the living room. And kind of parallel to my kitchen is my bathroom. So my kitchen and my bathroom are actually the same size, which I know sounds funny, but they are. So I walked into the bathroom and I'm looking around and then I see my clip on the ground. And I have these clips that sit on a shelf above the toilet in a little cubby. And the clip was on the ground close to the wall. So it either like fell onto the toilet, fell off of the toilet and hit the ground, or it fell and hit the wall and then hit the ground. But either way, this thing was like launched across the toilet. And I was like, how in the hell did that clip fall? I was like, I'm cooking an egg. I'm not banging on the wall. I didn't just like slam anything that, the wall would shake. And it was a pretty big clip and it fell pretty hard. Like, this is just all really interesting that this clip fell. So I'm sitting there staring at the clip, staring at the wall, trying to figure out how the clip got off the wall. How did it get off the toilet? It didn't really sound like it hit the toilet. It kind of sounded like it hit the wall. So did it fly across and hit the wall and then fall? So I'm sitting there thinking. Then I go back because, my eggs are burning at this point. By the time I get back to the kitchen, which is 2 steps away, I'm like, oh, it's spirit. Duh, Steph. And I'm like, oh, spirit's here. And I was like, I kind of felt like there was a spirit in my house a few days ago. Again, just a fleeting thought. And because I then remembered that I saw something out of the corner of my eye just a few days ago, but I didn't think anything of it. Why would I? All these things alone mean nothing. Pay attention. Keep your notes. So I go back to the kitchen and I'm thinking, well, who would it be? And I'm kind of laughing. And I was like, well, you're a medium, so you can find out. So this is where I start to think, who could it be? Who could it be? So I'm like, okay, well, no one's really been at my house. No one's coming over. So, it's not I'm not working. I'm not seeing any clients. I wasn't just thinking of anybody. It's like, what am I doing today? What am I doing today? I'm like, oh, I have that meeting with a potential master's student. Who is it again? Oh yeah, it's her. Who is the spirit? The spirit is a girl. It's a young girl. Her daughter. Is that the student that has the daughter that passed away? Let me check. So then I go to my office, burn my toast in the process, by the way. Go to my office, check my emails to reconfirm the name of who I'm meeting with. And then I go onto her Instagram because I was trying to put a face to the name. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's her. And I saw her face and I'm like, yes, it's her. And then I scroll down and I see the post about her daughter who was passed. And I was like, it is her daughter. I've talked to her before. I remember this all now. And I just want to kind of share with you the process of how I figured that out. And the real ticker here is, what am I doing today? Who am I seeing today? Who would be in my house waiting to talk to someone? That was the biggest question that figured out why is there a girl in my house and who's she waiting for? Why is she throwing the clip in my bathroom? I could have ignored any of those signs and this message wouldn't have been delivered. I could have just forgotten about, just thinking about, maybe it's the lady whose daughter passed away. I could have just not thought about, the few days ago when I thought I saw a spirit in my house. I could have ignored that my clip just fell and picked it up and finished making my breakfast. But I knew these things were trying to get my attention, and all together they make the message. So knowing me, I go on Instagram and I'm like, hey guys, a clip just fell in my house. There's a ghost here. Ha ha ha. Wonder who it is. And then 2 minutes later, I'm back on the internet and I'm like, hey guys, I think I figured out who it is. I'll report back. So at 2:00 when I had my meeting, I turned it on and I said, hey, like I haven't talked to the student in I think 2 years. She took her courses in 2021. And I was like, your daughter has passed away, right? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, just wanted to confirm because she has a message for you and I have full body shivers. And this is such a confirmation for her about taking her Reiki Masters. And also we had a million other signs and synchronicities. But if you are a longtime listener, you will remember, because I'm pretty sure, you might not remember, but I'm pretty sure there's a podcast episode about this. In 2021, when she took her Reiki level 1, I always clean before my Reiki trainings. I'd like do a really big, deep clean. It's part of how I prepare the energy and how I prepare myself. So I was doing a big deep clean and I found a bunch of dimes in my apartment at the time. And I did a whole post about how, like, I don't use cash. Like, how did I find a dime beside my door and then another dime behind my couch? And there was this Buddha, and behind the Buddha, there was a dime. And I was like talking about it. And I can't remember if I either told the Reiki students or I was just talking about it on Instagram. So she saw it. And then in the class, she said, hey, those dimes are my daughter. We have a thing with dimes and we have a thing with Buddhas. So the fact that you found the dime behind the Buddha, I know that sign was for me. And we had this whole moment and I distinctly remember that. So while I was in the kitchen, I'm in a new house now. Guess where that Buddha is? It was directly beside me. So when the clip fell, I looked at the Buddha and I thought, who would be here? And then puzzle piece and puzzle piece and puzzle piece and puzzle piece, we put it all together. And because I pay attention to all those tiny little signs, which all on their own make no sense, but I've gotten used to putting these dots together, I was able to give her mother a beautiful message and a little connection and reinforcement around her Reiki Masters as well. So we both had full body shivers and it was just a moment. And then I even said to her, and I was like, you know, what's funny? I'm like, I want to talk to you before I recorded the podcast. But I was like, this has to be episode 200. I said, I was supposed to record this podcast on Tuesday and I was supposed to record this podcast on Thursday. And I gave her the whole thing that I just told to you guys. And I said, and I was supposed to record this podcast before I met with you. Like, that was on my list of things to do before 2:00. I thought I'd wait. And I wasn't really, in love with the topic that I was talking about. I was like, but this story, this is episode 200 story. I was like, that's why this happened. That's why I wasn't inspired to record. That's why I waited. Everything all makes sense now. Because this had to be delivered for episode 200. Her daughter to come in and throw the clip to get my attention. And it all lined up. And while we were talking on the master's call, she was even telling me about how this had happened before with her family members. They were somewhere where there was candy on the table, and she said the candy literally flew across the room, and everybody saw it, and it turned her family members into believers of the afterlife because she was like, see, look what happened. So I said, oh, so your daughter has been throwing things in your life, and now she literally threw the clip in my bathroom. So I hope this helps piece together how spirit messages come to be. Again, it can seem, oh, I dropped a clip. Oh, a clip fell in the other room. I'm going to pick it up and put it back on the shelf. Oh, weird. I had this random thought for half a second. Oh, weird. I had this other random thought for half a second. Oh, Florida. Oh, daughter. Oh, But all put together, it's like putting together, it's like connect the dots. This links to this, links to this. One dot on its own doesn't make sense. 2 dots on their own don't make sense. But when you have 4 dots, now you can make a box. And now things really start to show shape. So we're coming in with a bang for episode 200, starting with how to understand messages from spirit, how to piece them all together, how to figure out what spirit is saying to you. I hope this helps you connect your dots in your life. Welcome to 2024. I am very excited to be here. I am very excited for another full year of podcasting. If you would like to register for Reiki trainings in February, the Mediumship practice circles in January, February, March, or the Middler Mastermind. We start in February. I will leave all the links you need down below in the show notes. My website is themediuminthemiddle.com, Instagram @mediuminthemiddle. Everything is linked. We are back to regular scheduled programming, so there will be new episodes every Wednesday. But until next Wednesday, Middlers, when I see you in your ears, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye, everybody.